Good morning, everybody. Auronnj here with another honkaistarrail video, and today we're going to talk about rerolling in this game. Now, if you're coming into honkaistarrail thinking that this is going to be like other gacha games you played, especially if you have never played Genshin Impact, you're going to be in for a bit of a rude awakening. The reroll process in this game, if you choose to go through with it, is a long, tedious process. So I'm going to give you 3 strategies for rerolling in this video to help get your account off to the best start possible and involve you going through the least pain possible. And in a lot of these situations, it's going to be best if you think ahead and actually start significantly before launch, especially if you want to take advantage of the pre-launch rewards from things like the All-Star Invite. Okay. Option number 1, this is the standard option. I think it's the worst option, is you make an account, you register for the game, and you just play through the tutorial until you can pull. From all accounts, from like playing in the beta, stuff like that, this can be up to a 25 or 30 minute process, and there's no guarantee that you're getting a 5-star after you do that. In fact, the rates in this game for acquiring 5-star characters and 5-star light cones are pretty low. So I do not recommend this first way. Yes, this way is very viable in a lot of gacha games where you can just log in with a guest account. You know, within 25 seconds, you get to the polling screen, you collect your new player rewards, you do all your polls. If you don't get anything, throw that guest account away, make a new one. There's no guest accounts in honkaistarrail. That's not a thing, or at least it's not a thing in Genshin, and has not seemed like it's going to be a thing in this game. So I don't recommend that way. If that's the only way that you're considering rerolling, my advice would be do not reroll. So let me give you 2 other methods that I think are a lot more viable. Method 1. Method 1 involves downloading an emulator to play this game on your PC and running multiple instances of the game at once. If you're like, what are you even talking about, Auronnj? Let me show you. So my preferred emulator is BlueStacks 5. So this, for example, is BlueStacks' website for honkaistarrail. This is a game they're going to support. If you go download this emulator and install it, what you do is you create instances that emulate a window, or that emulate an Android phone. You'll have this multi-instance manager right here. Notice that I have a lot of different instances created. In each one of these, I have it tied to a different Google account. So what I would suggest doing is making a lot of Google accounts for honkaistarrail right away, tying an instance, creating, especially on launch day, you can wait till launch day to create your instances, but create multiple instances of the game, each one tied to those different accounts that you've made, and then run them all at once. There are some pitfalls to this, but let me show you. Like, here's War of the Visions, another game I play and cover. It's running in a BlueStacks instance right here, and I've been playing this game for hours. I haven't had any crashes today, but BlueStacks and emulators do crash. That is a pitfall you can run into here. Still, there's a lot of benefits to it. With BlueStacks 5, for example, there's this button right here called Sync Operations. It's right where my mouse is. I'll zoom in there in editing a little bit. What this will allow you to do is have multiple instances of BlueStacks running, and every time you click or make a keystroke, it will actually do that in all your instances. So if you have a nice enough computer where you can run like 5, 6, 7, 8, a bunch of instances of the game, the more you have up, sure, you play through that process of starting the game, that 25-minute or so process, you get to your polls. At least this way, you're getting there with like 6 accounts or something. You're getting there with a lot more than just one try. There's still no guarantee. Even if you run this, if you're running 4 instances of the game and each one of them gets through that initial period, that tutorial that's like voice acted and full of story that you can't skip, you still might not pull a 5-star on any of those accounts. In that case, you have to then make 4 new accounts, start over with the whole process, but at least you're giving yourself a better chance. So I do think if you are just hard set on starting this game, not this game, not War of the Visions, but if you're hard set on starting honkaistarrail with a 5-star character, running multiple instances of an emulator, playing through it all at once, is a good way of doing it. Now, there's another method I want to talk to you about. And before I say that, like, BlueStacks is my preferred way, my preferred emulator. LD Player also has a web page already for honkaistarrail. I'm sure the other PC, phone emulators for your PC have these. This isn't a sponsored video or anything. BlueStacks is just my favorite one. It's the one I choose to use all the time. Okay, option number 3. I'm going to call this the Vulcan option. If you guys don't know who Vulcan is, look, if you're watching my video, you probably do. Vulcan is another content creator. He's covering honkaistarrail as well, and he came out with his launch plan today. He said what he was going to do on launch. He's creating 3 accounts for the game. He's going to play each of those accounts through the tutorial, and he's going to play each of them until he pulls his first 5-star. Now, maybe he has to go all the way to that first pity. Maybe he gets lucky and catches one along the way. But either way, he's not going to delete those accounts and start over. He's going to play each one of them. And then he's going to pick his best account and make that like his free-to-play account. And he's going to pick his worst account and make that the one he spends money on. And if you're just somebody who's going to only play one instance of the game, you can make multiple accounts, commit to playing them. Maybe you make 3 accounts like Vulcan does, and you play all of them until that very first beginner pity happens, right? Where you get to pick, I say beginner pity, it's that first beginner banner where you get to select a 5-star. Take 3 accounts all the way there and just say, hey, look, here's where I got to, which one of these accounts is the best? Because 5 stars are not the only way to judge what's your best account. You could pull really good 4 stars. You could pull dupes of 4 stars you want to use. If you play multiple accounts to a certain point in this game, you will have one that's better than the others. Then you could just all in on that one, right? And then play the game from there. So I don't hate that method, although if I was going to reroll in this game, I would go with method 2. And in fact, I haven't decided if I'm going to reroll in this game yet. I'm really back and forth on it all the time. I think about doing that multi-instance version of like BlueStacks and streaming that on the first day and being like, guys, look, we're going to do it. We're going to get a 5-star. And I just envision myself doing that for like 20 hours and then just being really sad and going to bed. And I don't want that to happen. Now, one of the reasons I mentioned that if you get started on this right away, there is the All-Stars invite event still going where every day you can get stuff added to your inventory. If you know you're going to play like 4 accounts and then see which one's the best, go ahead and do this All-Star event on all 4 accounts. So that way you can, add your prizes. It's something you could do before the game launches. Just a way to get ahead still. Personally with this, people have been asking me which ones I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick Make the World Clamor, and then I'm going to get it again and pick it twice so I can already start like leveling up this 4-star light cone with a dupe of it. So that's my plan for the storage to inventory area in the game, and those are my reroll strategies for honkaistarrail. This is a game that clearly does not want you to reroll. It's a game where the free roster is good enough to push through the game. So if you're a free-to-play player, do not feel like you have to reroll. But if you want to, there's the ways I can think of doing it that are decent. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will leave a link to BlueStacks page for this game in the description if you want to check that out, and have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you next time. Peace.